So let's move on to accounting journal entries for some special topics. Let's quickly look at the accounting entries for intercompany. Expense booking in parent company. The entry would be to debit intercompany expense and credit to intercompany payable. When a payment is made to subsidiary, you'll have to debit intercompany payable and the credit is to bank. Now, if you look at the subsidiary books, revenue booking in subsidiary company, debit intercompany receivables and credit to intercompany revenue. And collection from parent company in subsidiary books, debit bank and credit to intercompany receivables. The intercompany elimination in consolidation in parent company books, the entry would be debit intercompany payable and credit to intercompany receivables. The accounting entry for impairment are as follows. For impairment loss, you'll have to debit impairment loss and credit to accumulated impairment loss. For recovery of asset impairment, you'll have to debit accumulated impairment loss and credit to gain on revaluation. So let's look at the accounting entry for goodwill. Goodwill on account of acquisition, the entry would be to debit assets, credit to liabilities, credit to bank, and the differential would be debited to goodwill. So the entry related to amortization expense is to debit amortization expense and credit to accumulated amortization. The accounting entries for lease are as follows. For fixed asset on financial lease, the entry would be to debit fixed asset and credit to lease payable. For payment of lease obligation and interest, the entry would be debit lease payable, debit interest, and credit to bank. Rental payment for operating lease, debit rental expense and credit to bank.